Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Well, I'm very excited to greet you back again after quite some time. And I'm excited at the same time that I do have wonderful news for you as we are reaching toward the end of this year. Well, this is me, Binod Srestha, your regular host. In this channel, as you know, we talk about Canadian immigration, some updates, some news, and a lot of things about immigration. So, if this is your first time you're watching me on this YouTube channel, so please consider subscribing it so that you don't miss any important information about Canadian immigration. Well, today we'll be talking about one of the much awaited program that government was supposed to announce in fall 2024, but they delayed for some reason. And just yesterday, that means on December 14th, 2024, they release a news in Canada Gazette. So we'll deep dive into that, what we have in that news release, and what we are expecting very soon under that program. Let's straight go into what actually they promise in March 6th, 2024. There you go. If you take a look at this one, I actually, I'm referencing from Government of Canada's newsroom where you could see that they released this news on March 6th, 2024, and they said that they would be announcing a new PR pathway under these two different programs. One was Francophone minority communities, and another one was, yes, of course, it was RCIP, yes, Rural Community Immigration Pilot. And they were supposed to launch this program. If you take a look at this news here. They said the rural community immigration pilot will launch in the fall of 2024. But a lot of things happen. The Canadian government is trying to align everything here inside, and for some reason it got delayed. But ultimately, we have some good news for you. So just yesterday, I can show you here. Yeah, just yesterday they released news about the program, how they have planned, what information they have under this particular gazette, right? So that's what I want to share with you today. But again, I just want to let you know that we don't have all those full details yet, but so many of the things they have already outlined, they have already set out in this particular news. So we can see that one here. So this was released yesterday, that means December 14th, 2024. And you might be wondering what Canada Gazette is. So Canada Gazette is a place or the platform where Government of Canada basically releases their news. Okay, so they release the news about what's happening, what's coming up, and what has happened. So it covers so many areas, so many sectors. So immigration is one of them. So I will be talking about just the RCIP program today. Maybe the another day or some other day I will be preparing another video for the Francophone minority communities as well. So they have released so much of detail, so many things they have included in this particular news, but yet they have not released the launch date yet. So we are hoping that this is going to happen very soon, most probably by the end of this year. If not, definitely within the first month of 2025. That's January. All right. So let's deep dive into this particular program. As you know that RNIP is currently closed. I can show you that one here. Yes. So this program is dead for now, RNIP. So it's already closed. It's not accepting any applications at present. You can see here clearly on the website, we are no longer accepting new applications. So the rural and northern immigration pilot ended on August 31st, 2024. So since then, the program is not, is not in progress, right? So it's already closed. So now they are coming with this new program with few more communities being added. We don't know yet how many communities have been added, what are the new communities, what are the old communities, how many communities are continuing with this program, how many communities are not. We don't have that details. If you take a look at this, the older one, you can see that the participating communities are here, right? So these are the participating communities. Each communities hire people based on the requirement of that particular community, and they target the particular occupations. So you have to be careful. You have to visit each of these and see what they are looking for, what a skill set they need, what kind of manpower or you know these communities are looking for. So for that, you will definitely need to visit these websites. We don't know how many new have been added, how many of these old ones are continuing with this program. We don't have any information about this, but we do have so many other information. So we'll just go through that one, referencing this particular news release the government of Canada just did yesterday. So let me take you to this what is rural community immigration class. So this means here the rural community immigration class is established as part of the economic class referred to in subsection 12.2 of the Act and consists of foreign nationals who have the ability to become economically established in a designated community who intend to reside in the province other than Quebec and who meet the requirements set out in the subsection 2 and, if applicable, subsection 3, right? So these are basically the definitions, so I don't want to go in details of that. So this is very important. You need to learn EDO. This is the organization that will be setting out the priority occupation for each of those communities participating in the program. So this says here, an economic development organization must by March 31st of each year, right, establish a list of priority occupation that in its opinion will best contribute to the economic development in a designated community. So this has already been done. So they already have those priority occupation for each of those participating communities, but we don't know that yet. So EDO, priority applications, what it says regarding this is when issuing a certificate of recommendation referred to in section 4, an economic development organization may prioritize applications. Number A, in order to maximize the economic development in a designated community and meet the needs of the local labor market. And based on the foreign national occupation, wage, work experience, language proficiency in English, or French education, and connection to the designated community. So this is how they will prioritize occupation, how they will accept the applications for each of those communities program. All right. So for to be a designated employer, what are the criteria? It is already outlined here. You can take a look at this one. I'm not going to go through this. Designated employer revocation designation. That means under what conditions the designated employer could be removed out of this program. An economic development organization can revoke the designation of the employer. It means if the employer violates, breach the rules and regulations, so their designation may be revoked. So under what condition they may be revoked, you can give a read here. The other thing is regarding the charging fees prohibited. That means economic development organizations are prohibited from charging fees for designating or revoking a designated employer status, issuing, amending, or revoking a certificate of the recommendation. So this is not important for you. We'll go a little down here, criteria for certificate of recommendation. Okay, this could be important. This may be useful for you as well. So this is regarding the, it says, an economic development organization may issue a certificate of recommendation to a foreign national if it is satisfied that the foreign national had the required work experience for the tier category. Okay, tier means, as you know that, training, education experience, and responsibility category. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So out of that, whatever occupation that have been prioritized for those communities, you should be getting the genuine job offer for those tier category. That's what it says. Listed in the genuine offer of employment as set out in the subsection 5.1 or is exempt from the required work experience set out in the subsection 5.3 or 4. Okay, so this says has a genuine offer of employment as set out in the subsection 6.1 and the offer is in the priority occupation. This is very important. So if you do whatever job available, whatever job you get in those communities, you may not be eligible under this program. You have to have the job offer from those prioritized occupation, right? This is very important. So not for all of you. The second thing is has a wage above or within the range of wages for that particular occupation set out in the job bank of the Canada Employment Insurance Commission, unless the Economic Development Organization has established its own acceptable wage ranges above the minimum wage informed by the local labor market. So basically, it's expecting to have the wage either above or within the range of the wages for that particular occupation set out by the Job Bank of Canada, or ESDC, right? The other thing is here is supported by any supplementary documentation to verify the genuineness of the offer of the employment, including but not limited to recruitment efforts that the Economic Development Organization deems necessary. Okay. So, and the revocation of the certificate of recommendation, for what reason these could be revoked. Amending certificate of recommendation. Oh, okay, let's get into this one. Required work experience. So what it says regarding the work experience required to apply for this program. So it is in the based on the subsection 3 and 4, the applicant must demonstrate that they have the following work experience. A, for a genuine job offer of employment in tier category 0, work experience in an occupation in tier category 0, 1, 2, or 3, right? For a genuine job offer of employment in tier category 1, if it is for tier 1, you need to have work experience in an occupation in tier 0, 1, 2, or 3. The same thing applies for a genuine job offer of employment in tier category 2, if it is tier 2, your work experience in occupation in tier 0, sorry, not 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 will be accepted. Similarly, for a genuine job offer of employment in tier category 3, if it is in 3, work experience in an occupation in tier category 2, 3, or 4, unless subsection 3 applies. And the other one is for a genuine job offer of employment in tier category 4, work experience in an occupation in tier category 2, 3, or 4, unless subsection 3 applies. And the last one is for a genuine offer of employment in tier category 5, work experience in the same national occupation classification unit group as the other. So what it says is basically, if you're getting the job offer in a particular particular tier, so whatever work experience you have in the past, is it just the same tier, or the other tier categories work experience is also accepted? That's what it says. So you just saw that, how it's been clearly laid out in this particular news release. So you can have a peek on this. Work experience criteria, it says. So this says have been acquired over a continuous period of at least 1 year of full-time work. This is so important, okay? This says acquired over a continuous period of at least 1 year of full-time work, or the equivalent in part-time work in an occupation listed in the NOC, right? Okay. Have been acquired in the 3 years before the day on which the applicant applied for permanent residency. Okay. 3 years before the PR application is submitted. The other one, it says, include the performance of the action described in the lead statement for the occupation are set out in the occupational descriptions of the NOC. Yes, this is so important. It doesn't matter what title you have, but what matters is what are your jobs, duties, and role. Do that align with the title you've been given? That's very important. You need to figure it out, right? Okay. The next thing is include the performance of the substantial number of the main duties of the occupation are set out in the occupation description of the NOC. Yes, that's what I was trying to say, that it doesn't matter what title you have. What matters is what job descriptions or what kind of job activities you do under that particular job. What are your roles, responsibilities, and what are your duties? And do they really align with the title given to you? That's very important. And include only work that was done in the employ of a third party, unless it was acquired as a medical practitioner entitled to practice medicine under the laws of jurisdiction it was acquired. if it was acquired in Canada, have been acquired while the applicant was authorized to work in Canada under the regulation and had temporary resident status. Not very important for you. Okay, applicant with nursing work experience also here. So this says an applicant who has in the 3 years before the day on which they applied for permanent residency acquired over a continuous period at least 1 year of full-time work experience or the equivalent part-time work or in an occupation that corresponds to unit group 31301 of the NOC meets the work experience requirement if they have a genuine offer of employment in an occupation that corresponds to the unit group this. Okay, so this is for the nursing work experience. So what it says is in the last 3 years before the day on which they applied for permanent residency acquired over a continuous period at least 1 year full-time work experience, right? If it is part-time, equivalent of that should be there, right? And the unit group is also is mentioned here. You can take a look at that one, 33102 44101. Okay. Now, international graduate exempt. Okay, so there is an exemption here for the international graduates. So it says the work experience requirement does not apply to an applicant who obtained an eligible credential from a post-secondary program and who meets all of the following requirement. So this is pretty much like the RNIP. So if you actually, if you are a student and you studied in that particular community, so you are exempt from the requirement of the work experience. So this says the applicant was enrolled as a full-time student during the entire period of the program, right? So you are not required to have any work experience to apply for the program. The other one is the eligible credential was obtained within the 18 months before the day on which the applicant applied for a permanent residency. So before you applied for your PR, you should be spending 18 months, right? I mean that credential must have been secured or obtained within the last 18 months. Next, in the case of an applicant who have followed a master's or doctoral program that was less than 2 years in the length, the applicant was physically present in the designated community where the employment is located during the entire period of the program. So these are basically for the professional degrees, master's and doctoral degrees. Okay. So this says the master followed a master or the doctoral's degree program that was less than 2 years in the length. The applicant was physically present in the designated community where the employment is located during the entire period of the program. So they should be physically present if they are doing any one of these courses. And the other one is in the case of an applicant who followed a post-secondary program other than one referred to in paragraph C, the program was at least 2 years in duration, and during that 24 months immediately preceding the day on which the eligible credential was obtained, the applicant was physically present for at least 16 months in the designated community where the employment is located. Okay, out of 20 months, right? If you are doing 2 years of program, you should be there for the 16 month physically in those places. All right. So it talks about eligible credentials like degree, diploma, certificate, trade, apprenticeship credential from a Canadian public secondary institution in the designated community. These are pretty much the same thing that we had in the RNIP, and genuine offer of employment. So many things are there. Okay, I just want to focus on this one, language proficiency here. So what it says is if you are getting the tier category 0 or 1 job, you need to make sure that you have CLB 6. For occupation tier category 2 or 3, you should have benchmark 5. For occupation category tier category 4 and 5, just 4 is enough. So this is very important. Please make note of it. Regarding education, the applicant must demonstrate that they have obtained a secondary school education credential or higher credential by submitting proof as follows. If they have obtained a secondary school education or higher credential from a Canadian institution, a copy of the Canadian credential. Otherwise, they must submit a copy of foreign secondary school education credential along with the equivalency assessment that is less than 5 years old at the time of the application is made. Yes, so you have to do ECA, Education Credential Assessment. There are a couple of institutions, approved by IRCC. So one of them is WES, ICAS, IQAS. These are the organizations who basically do the equivalencies, right? So you can do your home country's degree equivalency, Education Credential Assessment through any one of these designated, institutions, right? All right. So the next thing is your intention to reside in that community is very, very important. Necessary fund, if you are working, usually you are not required to have fund for that. Yeah, you can see here the necessary funds requirement set out in subsection 1 does not apply to an applicant who is already employed in Canada. Otherwise, yes, you have an obligation to have some sort of fund so that you can prove that you can survive with the fund unless you get a job. New genuine offer of employment. Okay, this is about an applicant may obtain a new genuine offer of employment only if, after they submit their application for permanent residency, the employer from which the applicant received their existing genuine offer of employment becomes an employer referred to in paragraph 203H of the regulation. The applicant is already working under a work permit referred to in section 200. Okay, I don't want to go in much details and confuse you a lot, right? Okay. So, permanent resident visa. What it says about this one is for the purpose of subsection 14.15 of the Act, subsection 70, 1, 2, 4, and 5 of the regulation apply to permanent resident visa application made by an applicant. Not much. Okay, this is what they actually release about this particular program on this in this Canada Gazette. It was released on December 14th, 2024. A couple of things are clear now in terms of education, in terms of your language, in terms of your work experience. So you can have a look at this one. If you need, I can put this in the description as well so that you do visit and read very carefully. Still yet many things to come, and I believe it's on the way. And as they promised, they were supposed to release it in the fall of 2024, but for some reason they were busy with so many things and they were not able to do it. And now there is an indication that this program is still alive. Okay, so this program is coming up very soon, and this will bring a lot of smiles for the people who are already working in those communities or those who are waiting for this program to be launched very soon. So let's hope for the best, and we would like to wish you a very good luck. And as soon as the program gets released, we'll inform you. We'll prepare probably another YouTube and give you all the details of the program. All right. So yep, thank you so much for being with me in this particular episode today. So it was just about the RCIP, which the government recently indicated there that they are planning to do or release this program very soon. RCIP, Rural Community Immigration Pilot. So I believe RNIP will not be launch again because it's been a while they stopped it, and I think in the month of probably August, they stopped it, and they were working to bring this new program. And as they said, there were so many new communities participating in it, and we don't know yet what are the communities and how many old communities will continue with this particular program. All right. Thank you so much once again. And if you have not subscribed our channel yet, please do so, because you will be benefited in getting immigration related important news and updates on time, and you won't be missing it. All right. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. See you in the next episode.